Here's another cool thing about synthesizers. Did you know that the FM setting, which sounds like this, is actually the same thing as FM, as in FM radio? So FM stands for frequency modulation, and it's a way of encoding information. So in a radio broadcast, they're not just broadcasting the audio signal. Instead, the transmitter is going to generate a carrier wave, which is usually just some sine wave, and then it uses the audio signal to modulate it. And then they can broadcast this new signal as a radio wave, and that gets demodulated by the receiver. And that's cool if you're into radio transmissions, but if you're a musician, you're probably wondering what it would sound like if you turn that into an audio signal. Okay, here's how I like to explain it. This is an oscillator that's generating a sine wave. I've got it plugged into an oscilloscope so you can see what it's doing. That's going to be a carrier signal. And I've got another oscillator here, which is exactly the same, just at a lower frequency. So if I plug my carrier oscillator into my audio output, you're going to hear a sine wave. And if I plug the low frequency oscillator into the audio, you're not going to hear anything until I turn up the frequency. Bit of an annoying noise, really. But you get the idea. Two oscillators that are exactly the same for everything except frequency. Now, I'm going to plug back in that high frequency one. And now I'm going to plug the output of the low one. Instead of putting it into audio, I'm going to plug it into the frequency of this one. And that's what happens. It's not a very nice sound, but listen to what happens when I turn the frequency up. You start getting some interesting complex tones. I know I've replaced that LFO with another VCO that's identical to the other one, and now if I plug it into the frequency, it's a note that sounds kind of weird. And that's exactly what the FM setting on synths like Serum is for. If you use a modulator signal that's the same frequency or some integer multiple of the frequency, then you get harmonic overtones. But if you detune it, you start getting some weird inharmonic sounds.